Hey everybody, I'm HondaPro Jason. I'm in Raymond, Ohio at Honda's R&D facility. I'm going to show you guys some things that have never been shown before. We're going to show you some sled testing. We're going to show you guys some 3D image. We're going to show you guys some crash. We're going to show you guys stuff that is going to blow your mind. So follow me and let's have an incredible, incredible time.
So you'll take this, what are you on this there? Basically, you look out that way. You look out that way, that's all. Yeah, that's a lot to go.
This is the design floor at Honda R&D's America. And I'm with Jim, Vice President and General Manager of the entire facility. We're gonna ask him some questions, see what kind of info we can get. Jim, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. So tell me a little bit about where we're standing. Like, how big is the area that we're in right now, square feet wise?
The entire facility is about 1.4 million square feet under roof, and the development floor that we're in right now, as you can see back there, is about 250 yards, or about 2.5 football fields.
Unbelievable. And so here you guys develop new Hondas that are coming out, is that right?
That's right. For on the automotive side, we do the light truck platform. So we do the Acura MDX, the Pilot, the Ridgeline, and the Odyssey, and then we also do the Acura TLX. And then most recently, we're doing joint developments with our partners in Japan for the Civic and NSX.
And a lot of people have asked, how much of the new NSX was designed here in America?
The entire frame, so it's the body, interior, chassis, electrical, so basically everything other than the powertrain.
And how many engineers do you guys have working here?
On any given day, there's about 2,000 people that work here on the development floor. Some are our associates, and then some are also from suppliers or contingent workforce.
I got a small, when we first came in, you guys showed me how big the campus was. And then they showed me another map how big the campus was. And the campus is big, like it's massively big.
That's right.
Because you guys have your own gym, 2 basketball courts,
Yep.
and a place to not only work on your cars, but also a local Honda dealership can come in and work on some of the employees' Hondas also.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Right. That's a new
That's
facility
awesome.
we built about 2 years ago.
That's incredible. And one thing that I noticed as soon as I walked in were the hoods surrounding the entire area here, and they all have signatures on them. Right. So are those all the people that worked on that in particular project?
That's right. Every time we make our first prototype vehicle, we have what we call a line-off ceremony.
Okay.
And we have the entire team comes downstairs, signs the hood, and then we memorialize that project by putting the hood up along the top of our development floor.
So will the NSX hood be here?
Yes.
It will?
Yes, absolutely.
That's going to be pretty awesome. I might have to come back to check that one out.
All right.
So power sports. First, can you explain really quick what power sports are, what power sport equipment is, and then how much you guys design and what you design here in this facility?
Okay. Power sports is motorcycles, scooters, ATVs, and side-by-sides.
Okay.
We're responsible for global development of all ATVs and side-by-sides here in this facility.
Wow, okay. That's awesome. So things like the Pioneer 700.
That's right.
That's engineered here.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an engineering group that does the original development here, and then
Okay.
we have a small group at our factory in South Carolina that follows it through mass production.
Pioneer 1000, is that also done here?
Yeah, the engine was done in Japan, but
Okay.
the actual vehicle was done here.
And are they produced here in America?
Yeah, in South Carolina, Timmonsville, South Carolina is our factory.
There's a lot of talk about that 1000. People are super excited about it. Strange question. I know you guys do wind tunnel testing.
That's right.
Do wind tunnel test power sport equipment also, or is that not necessary?
We currently do not, but
Okay.
it's something maybe we can consider for the future.
It sounded kind of like, I just thought about it. Like, man, it'd be kind of interesting to see how that worked out.
Yeah.
Jim, thank you so much for your time, brother. I
Okay,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now we're in the safety area, and this is where all the crash tests happen. I'm here with Brad and Brian, and they're going to tell us a little bit about how things are crashed, why they're crashed, and kind of what we learned from all these crashes. Brian, how are you?
Good, good. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you as well. So this looks just like the crash test area that we see on TV that like NHTSA and the other crash test people do. Is this different than what they do? Are the tests pretty much the same?
Well, we do a lot of the same testing here, in addition to all the testing that the IHS does and some of the consumer information organizations. But we also have a lot of tests that are just Honda-specific crash tests.
That they wouldn't even think of doing.
That's right. That's right. So
Okay.
in order to make a Honda product, we have to verify that it meets our standards, in addition to the NHTSA standards and the consumer information
I
standards.
like that. I like that a lot. And Brad, everyone talks about safety for everyone, which means, you know, not just safety for the occupants inside of the car, but safety for people that are outside the car also, just in case, or other cars in that matter. Do you guys do testing here that involves things outside of the car?
Yeah, actually we do. We do a lot of pedestrian testing here at the facility. You know, Honda's a company that society wants to exist. That's the company we want to be.
Okay.
And that doesn't just mean people are driving our cars, but it means people driving other cars and people around our cars.
So things like I learned years ago that the wipers on the car were specially made that if hitting a pedestrian, they wouldn't inflict any damage.
That's right. We actually make those fasteners where the wipers and the motors attached to the car so they break away during an impact, so it's not a stiff impact. It absorbs the energy.
And that's things that other safety tests, they don't do. There's
That's
no
right.
testing for NHTSA for wipers, right?
That's right.
That's cool. And what's the name? There's we don't call them a dummy, but it's Polar, isn't it?
Well, we have a dummy. It's actually a dummy. It's called it's an ATD, and that's an anthropomorphic test device.
Okay.
And the specific dummy you're talking about is the Polar 2, and that's a pedestrian dummy that Honda designed. Actually, we're getting ready to move into a Polar 3 and do revision of the dummy. So,
Really?
And that's specific for pedestrian testing.
Taller, stronger, faster?
Not quite.
Not like a $6 million man?
Just smarter.
Smarter, okay. And Brian, I'm going to get a full shot of this whole sled here, but how long is this from the beginning where the car goes all the way to where it hits the barrier? How long of an area is this about?
126 meters.
126 meters. How fast, like, what's the top speed? How fast can you crash a car? That's what I want to know. How fast can you crash a car?
This facility will actually go up to 100 kph, so just over 60 miles an hour. However, we don't test that at that high of a speed.
Can cars be tested more than once?
They can, yeah. Actually, every pre-production car, when we're doing a development here, usually gets impacted about 3 times. It might have some low-speed testing initially, followed by usually 2 higher speed impacts. And at that point, the vehicle has served its useful life for us.
And then it just gets crushed, you start a new one.
Well, we actually hold on to it for some period of time as we're doing the development of the vehicle, and make sure that everything performed as we'd expect. And then after a certain point, the vehicle will be disposed of.
Okay, so the common person, someone's going to buy the new Civic, the new 2016 Civic coming out. How many times do you think you guys have tested that car, crashed that car before the consumer actually gets it?
There have been approximately between 150 and 200 crash tests performed on that particular car over the life of the development. So,
and there's assuming there's cameras everywhere?
There are cameras everywhere. We can run with up to about 20 individual cameras in this facility. We have cameras outside the car, underneath the car, above the car, and of course in the car too, taking video during the crash event.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, dude, thank you so much.
Problem.
I really appreciate it. Brad, thanks for all your info. This is really, I mean, I wish you guys could be here with me because it's almost breathtaking how amazing this whole thing looks.
Feel them.
I can
Feel the heat.
It's really bright in here. And when I say bright in here, I don't mean like it's kind of sunny. I mean, I can barely open my eyes where they're crash testing these cars, and it's getting very warm with my hoodie, and I can see my cameraman, Chris, is actually beating up with sweat as we're speaking. So with these lights on, and I'm going to ask, is there a wattage or a number I can throw out here of any sort of how much power we have here in lights? Like gigawatts or?
67,000 lux is the brightness.
67,000 lux. So if you guys are always asking me how many lux are the new LEDs, and this is 67,000 lux in these lights. And as you guys can see, you can't feel it, but let me tell you, it's getting really warm really fast. Okay, I'm training for the Honda Marathon, because if Honda ever has a marathon, after running what those cars go through, I'm definitely going to be ready. So I'm in another part of the R&D facility where, this is getting very heavy by the way guys, where we have a leg of a, can I call this a dummy? What would you like me to call this? A dummy? I have a leg of one of the crash dummies, and this leg with a shoe that looks like a size children's 13 is way heavier than I thought it was going to be. I thought things were going to be really light, but I haven't picked up many legs actually, but I can imagine this leg is about the weight of a normal average human leg.
This,
Come on in, Brian. Let's talk about this leg for a minute, shall we? Go ahead.
What you have here is a leg off of one of our crash test dummies. This is a leg from a dummy that represents a 5th percentile female, American female.
So this is a girl's shoe.
Girl's leg. Size.
Okay.
Yes. And actually, the rest of the dummy is here. Currently, it's being disassembled and reassembled and calibrated. We use these dummies in all of our crash tests, and every few crash tests they get a complete teardown and rebuild.
So you're not just engineers, you're actual doctors and surgeons.
I don't know about that.
Matter of sorts. Here, follow me over there, guys, real quick. Check this out. So here, I'm going to put this down because I'm not joking. This thing's really heavy. I didn't know you were a real person. Okay, so they test everything. They test from infants, which this is actually heavier than the leg we just had, all the way to adolescent kids, different sizes, different genders, as you can see, and there's people in here. This is really weird. Like it's really strange. Hi, nice to meet you. So I have a couple of questions about what you do here at R&D. How often you get crashed? Okay, and do you like your job? How are the benefits? I mean, the benefits look like they're good. They take good care of you. No? Wait. John, we're gonna have to have a talk after what he just told me. This is the coolest place I've ever been in my entire life. I've had a long life, and I am a Honda fan, as everybody knows, but being here it's blowing my mind. I'm trying to take it all in, but it's really tough. Like, my brain is on super overload. We're here now with Craig. He is the lead tech in the sled lab. What's a sled lab? Well, we're gonna find out where the sled lab is. What is a sled lab? Craig, let me start this way first. Craig, how are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm good. I keep forgetting my introductions. Very important when you're interviewing people. So we're in the sled lab, and we're just in the testing facility with all the lights, and you crash it up against a barrier. We talked about the dummies and Polar. How is this different than where we just were?
Well, this lab gives us the capability, we run the test in reverse.
Reverse.
So this is, what normally happens in this lab is we'll get a deceleration pulse from the crash lab.
Okay.
And that data is inputted to me, and I'll put it into our system. We then are able to run this test in reverse to get the same results, testing different safety restraints.
So Craig, in this, does the car move or does the sled move to the car?
Well, the car is mounted to the sled.
Okay.
So essentially it's the first row of a vehicle.
Okay.
And it's reinforced with steel, so it gives us the ability to run 100 shots if we wanted to without damaging the vehicle itself.
Oh, that's interesting. Where the other one, they said that you get 3 or 4 and the car is pretty much done.
Correct. Absolutely.
Okay, and all this is in preparation for the worst, just in case.
Yeah, and this lab pretty much is just, like I said, just tuning in the safety restraints. So when they do go to crash a vehicle, they know exactly what it is they're wanting to test without fail.
And here, do you test all the airbags? You test the seat belts?
Airbags and seat belts, yes.
Okay, interesting. That's cool. I never thought a place like this existed. I had no idea. And I heard some crazy horsepower numbers of the sled. Can you give us an idea, if calculated, what this sled produces?
Yeah, this sled is capable producing up to 75 Gs, and it takes about 45,000 horsepower to do that.
You said 45,000 horsepower?
45,000
45,000 horsepower.
horsepower. That's correct.
What speed does it get up to?
It could go up to 75 km/h, which is about 46 miles per hour.
But how fast does it do that?
We collect the data in about 300 milliseconds.
So it goes, so actually in length, how fast does it get up to 45 miles an hour?
About 3 feet.
I'm sorry, so it's 3 feet, it gets up to 45 miles an hour.
Yes.
And it's 45,000 horsepower.
Correct.
So you racers out there, you can take that and compare it to what you guys got. This place is insane. Dude, thank you so much for info. I learned a ton about this that I never knew. Thank you.
Hey, no problem.
2, 3, saving lives!
That was saving lives on 3. Cool.
And we do all of that here in the wind tunnel. So if you want to talk about models in detail, this is kind of cool, but
Almost. Just gotta get that B-roll.
So you guys have seen all my videos in the new Pilot. What you haven't seen is me holding a 40% scale of the engine of the new Pilot. Check this thing out. This thing is so detailed, it's gonna be, it's amazing just to look at. And a 3D printer made this. And this actually goes inside one of the designs that are behind me for wind testing, for design testing. And I'm here with the team that does the wind testing right now and designs everything. Jim, do you mind coming in for a moment?
Sure.
Jim, can you just state your name and your title here at Honda?
Sure. My name is Jim McKillen, and I'm a technical expert here at Honda for Aerodynamics Group.
And we're in basically the aerodynamics section.
That's right.
And you guys gave me a brief overview and said that you have a couple different scales. You have quarter scales
That's
and
right.
40% scales.
That's correct.
And it starts, when you guys receive them, it starts at a 40% scale?
We start actually at 25%.
Oh, okay.
That is very early in the development process, and that'll be in clay, and we'll work with styling to mature that clay model, and then that matures into a 40% at a later time in development.
So, just so we have a timeline, the new Civic's coming out, 2016 Civic's coming
Yes.
out, very, very soon.
Yes.
When did that start? Like, what year would you say that you got the first clay model? Give people just kind of a timeline of how long you've been working on this car.
So let's see, it's 2016. So that project actually started in Japan. That was a shared project, powertrain and body side, frame side.
Right.
We started on it here probably in 2012.
Okay.
And it came right at that change point of 25% into 40%.
So just after the 9th generation Civic started, you guys are already working on the 10th generation.
That's right, yeah.
So it takes that long to get everything down.
It takes, yeah,
Pretty
I mean,
awesome.
there's a lot of parts on the car.
That's
You
pretty
know,
cool.
Aerodynamics is affected by every part that air touches on the car. So,
And we're going to be able to take a look at where you guys do wind tunnel testing.
you bet.
That's going to come up, guys. You do not want to miss this. But let's take another closer look here at some of these models. And this is actual ink that you guys put on there to display kind of where the wind goes around this in the testing. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So we use several different methods of visualizing the flow.
That's cool.
Ink is one, and then we got 2 different colors here that represents 2 different changes that we did, so we can see how that change behaves on the surface of the car.
And again, quarter scale.
Quarter scale. Yep.
Quarter scale.
Quarter scale. Yep.
But around here, we have 40% scale.
Yep.
That's the exact same car.
You guys have to see this. You guys have to see this. So this is TLX. Okay, 2015 TLX, 40% scale. And when I tell you this is detailed down to the T, it's detailed down to the T. Look at this. You see the motor mounts. You can't see the bottom, but there's a oil filter on it. It is extremely detailed. And it has to be because the wind's gonna come around this and they wanna know exactly how the wind's gonna react when the real car comes. Check these wheels out. These wheels, real carbon fiber, not the fake stuff here at Honda, real carbon fiber. walking around the R&D department, there's some things that are covered. So we always want to ask what's under the cover. So Jim,
Yes,
what's under the cover, dude?
a car.
A car. I know it's a car, man, but
So,
it's just like I see so many things and I want to take a
yeah, it's hard, and you know that's what
I know what's under the cover. I know what's under the cover.
It is a version of the NSX. That's right.
So this is a version, a wind tunnel version of the NSX.
That's right. Yep.
So without, I don't know how much details you can give or not give, but can I guess that the NSX is probably the least wind resistant of any of the cars that we've done recently?
Least wind resistance.
I mean, it looks like it would be the least wind resistant.
It looks like it. So, and it is very wind resistant.
It
but
is.
the concept for that whole car is maximum speed, track driving.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what we really did on that car was, you know, work on the lift balance, the amount of lift, the amount of downforce on the car, so that
Okay.
when you're driving it, you really get a feeling that the car is attached to the road.
That's
rather
cool.
than it's just a fuel economy car. You know, when we talk about
Right.
Civic, I mean, Civic
Of
is
course.
like really wind resistant. I mean, it's
Okay.
it's one of the lowest in the market for doing drag,
Yeah.
or low drag. But you know, the NSX is a completely different concept.
So cool. This has really been an eye-opener. I had no idea a facility like this existed, and to know that these models are done in different scales and the detail. I think that's what impresses me the most is the detail that's inside these cars. It's phenomenal. Jim, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're
brother.
welcome,
I really
Jason.
appreciate
Thank you.
it.
You bet.
And now let's check out the wind tunnel because that's going to be super cool stuff. So all these things we're seeing, everything it's functional.
That's correct. That's what's nice about the NSX is that it's really function over form. That's a lot of the stuff that we're looking at. So now we're going to actually show some results of the vehicle itself. So you can see some streamlines as they come around the vehicle and through. We're going to highlight a single streamline as it goes in, out, under, and then through. And then because this is simulation, we can actually follow this streamline. We're actually going to go a flyby of this vehicle itself. So following that streamline, we go in the front, through the radiator, up through the hood vent, creates a little bit of downforce from the aero balance that Jim was talking about earlier, under the wing mirror, go along the side of the vehicle, mix, and then go into the rear, and this is a heat cooling duct by the exhaust and then out the back. So we're actually able to show how the air is being used in multiple ways as it goes through the vehicle.
So we design the models, we try to put the cut lines in the same position as the cut lines on the full scale car.
Okay.
So when we're changing fascias, door skins, things of that nature, we can have that new styling made. And then for minor model updates, we'll actually have those made of clay on the 40% model, and then
Okay.
we can do some styling tuning.
Okay.
It's a constant negotiation with styling. You know, we want to keep their image and their styling,
Of course.
but we want it to be aerodynamic as well.
So you kind of work together.
yeah,
You try to work together.
we work
You
together.
work-
We don't try. We work together.
One of the benefits of having
we
this
work
here
together.
is like we can go grab a designer that's upstairs, come and show him how his part works.
Because
And-
everything is.
Yeah, everything's here, so
That's
we can
cool.
really work as one family. You know, we just
Bottomers
Okay.
come from LA. We bring them out.
Yep.
They're working on the clay they'll be cutting clay right on the tunnel that we want.
We see the change instantly. They have an idea, they come, they style it, the clay modelers put it in the model, we can get data, find out whether it was good or bad.
As far as windows and sunroofs, do they ever get open in clay models or they always stay shut and then they just get open in full scale? How does that work?
Yeah, for our models here, we don't have functional windows.
Okay.
We do test garnishes for like when the sunroof opens, you have the garnish
Yeah.
to break the shear layer over the roof.
Of course.
We will test that here,
Okay.
but as far as functional windows, not at this point.
So let me ask you a question. Has anything ever done really well here and then it goes to the next step and they open a window and you have to bring it back here to redesign things?
That's usually a
the
different
window
group that would
opening
handle that.
is more of a wind noise issue.
Okay.
So in terms of cabin pressure, like if we were to, for example, if we did a convertible of some sort,
Okay.
we would be.
I'm sorry. Let's just say that one day we did another sort of convertible or something. I'm sorry, go ahead, Jim. as you were.
If that has ever happened.
If yes.
And we would be in charge of how to get the air over the convertible, over the passenger compartment.
Okay.
In a way that was, not intrusive, I guess is a good way, or
Okay.
would continue to give the customer joy with driving, get that convertible experience.
So the S2000 had that little plastic diffuser that went in between the seats. That's something
Yep.
you guys would test to see
Yeah.
if it did anything and what it did and how to make it better.
That's correct. Our group
Okay.
that would develop that, which got developed in Japan, and
Right.
the aerodynamics group would have been involved with that.
Interesting. Cool. Things I did not know. And things I'll bet you guys didn't know. And that's why we're doing this. We're really taking the time and the effort, not just because I think it's amazing, but I really want to show you guys things that you might not have known, things that go into Honda way before you guys ever go to the dealership and buy one. This is years and years of testing, safety, wind tunnel testing, gas mileage testing. So many things go into these cars to make sure that Honda is the best possible car they can produce before you guys get them. So most of the day, they've been talking to me about the Powerwall. HondaPro Jason, you have to see the Powerwall. Wait until you see the Powerwall. The Powerwall. And I'm picturing this big wall with a bunch of outlets. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. We can like plug in our devices and charge them. No. This is the Powerwall. And this is Alex. And Alex is going to tell us a little bit about what is behind. So this is a rear projection, you said.
Yes, it's a 20-foot screen, rear projected, and 4K.
And you said it was like an IMAX theater.
Yeah,
basically.
so imagine if you go to a movie and you have the projectors in the back that they project the image. We have one of those, but we have a screen in front and it projects on the back of the screen.
Okay.
And that's what we're seeing right now.
So like on your lunch break, if you're not doing anything, this is where you come and hang out, or is it used for something else?
We use it for virtual verification. So verification activities, we take the DPM data, we take the data that's created upstairs, and we convert it, put it into the software, and with that, then we get these images, and we can use it for fit and finish verification, digital quality checks, anything like that.
So before the car is built, when it's going through its conceptual stage, they send you the information, you put it up on the screen?
Yeah, so we can take styling data, we can take actual part data that parts will be made from. But what we're really trying to move toward is, non-prototype development. So if we can create a car, create this without actually creating the parts, it saves time, it saves money, it's much cleaner, everybody wins.
And can you do inside and outside, or just outside?
Oh yeah, we can do inside. If you want to go inside the car, we apply kinematics, so we can open the doors, everything. We can change colors, we can change textures.
Can you move the car?
Sure, would you like to see?
I would love to see this thing work. So 2016 Civic, touring model from what I'm looking at, I'm assuming.
Start by going just from outside the car.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And you can open trunks. If you want to open the trunk, you can just open the trunk.
Sure, yeah. Just with the click of a button.
So things like how the trunk closes and where the hangers are inside, is there a way to get, like that? And then you can shut them and you can see how much room you'd have and how the back seats go. Wow.
Sure, so we use this for basically evaluations on what does the customer actually see. We take a lot of pride in our products here, and we want it to be beautiful, and we want it to be exactly how our stylists intend it to be. So we use this as a tool to help ensure that the customer gets that wonderful experience.
Can you change the color easily?
Sure, we can change the exterior colors. We have black, we have white, go anything. If you want to get a little bit crazy, we can even go orange.
I like the orange.
Yeah, do we?
I've never seen the 16 Civic in orange. It looks pretty darn cool. You can change interior colors?
We can change interior colors. Just have to find
This is.
Say we want a black interior.
I like that. I like that color combo a lot.
Yeah? Does it look familiar?
It does actually. And can we sit inside the car? Like how detailed can this get? We can sit inside the car.
So yeah, this software is really, really nice because we can actually see the stitching. You can see the wrinkles in the leather. Let's say we have perforations on some of our seats. Come around, zoom in a little bit. So it's really, really neat just with the technology, how far we're able to go.
And this is developed, was it Honda's idea or did Honda have help in the development of the software?
No, this is a software that we actually use. It's right now 3D Excite and
Okay.
Delta Gen.
Okay. And that's a Honda thing. That's in cooperation. I learned about this in California. This is one of the cooperations that we have with other companies that come in and they work with Honda to create incredible cool stuff like this.
Yeah, so 3D Excite is actually part of Dassault.
Okay.
So the CAD software that we use is with Dassault. And 3D Excite has this software, Delta Gen, and we work with them.
So you designers out there are probably completely geeking out right now because this is some next level stuff that I don't know if the world's ever seen anything like this. Give me an idea, an aspect. I'm sure you told me already once. How big is the screen?
20 feet.
It's 20 feet.
20 feet. Wow. So it's really nice that it's 20 feet because it allows us, if need be, we can make the car actual size and our evaluators can walk up to the screen and pretend to open the door and see what it's like in a real life situation.
That's pretty awesome. Now that we saw the design, the clay model, the wind tunnel, the 3D printing, let's see Honda put it all together and build a car. I have my steel toe sneakers on. I have my safety glasses on. So let's go inside and check things out. Okay guys, now we're at the Marysville Auto Plant and we're going to show you manufacturing. As you can tell, we're in the weld department. Right over my shoulder is one of the frames that just got done being welded and they're going to start putting the car together. We're going to walk you through how they put a car together and what happens at the end. How awesome is that going to be? The engines themselves are assembled in the Anna engine plant and then they come here to Marysville. As you guys can see, they're coming across the conveyor belts. And I'm here with Chris. Chris, how are you?
Good to meet you this morning.
Good to meet you too, man. Now, there's a couple of things unique about this because it looks like the brakes in the front, kind of the suspension and everything is on the car.
There is a lot of things that take place before this whole assembly gets placed into the vehicles, and we're very proud of our Anna engine plant, who makes these engines, and then these products come in here, and then we've got the sub-assembly area where our associates are doing the fine-tuning that needs to be done in order for those to go in our vehicles.
So right now, where we are now, do these engines, do they have oil in them?
They are ready to go.
They're ready to go.
They are ready to go.
And tell them again, when's the first time the car gets started? When does this engine first start?
The actual engine gets started at the end of the assembly line. So once it gets down the line, they're going to put in about 3 liters of gasoline, and then that person who's going to take that car out at the end of the line, that's when they're going to start that car up.
And that's the first time?
That is the first time.
That's so cool. And the cars, I mean, it's amazing to see an engine in this form. Like, I've never seen it before. It's awesome.
We actually liken it as a miracle. You know, there are millions of parts that come off, and we're producing a miracle off of each line every second.
Pretty cool.
For every minute, I should say.
Thanks for producing miracles,
Hey,
Chris.
thanks for coming out.
Awesome. Because right now we're in the Marysville plant and we're watching cars being built, which is pretty awesome because I've never actually seen a car being built from beginning to end. All the checks, everything they're doing, all the things are putting together, putting the doors on, putting the seats in, putting the radio in. Stuff I've never experienced and didn't think I would probably ever experience. and there's workers everywhere. I mean, each one of these cars has 7 or 8 workers on it, and they're all just like attacking the vehicle, which is pretty amazing too. It's really neat to watch. So your windshield in your cars and your glass in your car is put in by robot. Yeah, that's what I said, robot. This massive machine behind me picks up the glass off the line, puts it on the car, and then seals it. Check this out, it's unbelievable. Now we're at the end of the line. So the car's already been built, and now we're gonna go testing it. I'm here with Johnny. Johnny, how are you?
Great. Nice
Good to see you, man. Nice to meet you also. So right now we're gonna take the car out for, well, first it's gonna get a bunch of tests done. What do we test? We test the tire alignments?
We check the exterior inspection. Okay. We align the car. Okay. We confirm alignment. We check dynamic function, driving, brake test, and then we do an underbody inspection, shower test, and then outside drive.
And we're gonna be able to see all that right now.
Yes, sir.
Dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Cool. Ed?
Ready? Yep. All right.
Grab a car, we plug in a line-in tester, it's brake time. They're either getting ready to take off, but I'm still going to get you in a car.
Okay.
We plug in a line-in tester, and we do about 126 checks on that little computer we put in there. That car talks to this computer, computer talks to the car. We do a ton of work on that thing.
Cool.
So anyway, we're going to do that. This is Rick Davis. Rick Davis is
Rick,
our team leader up here.
How you doing?
Good.
Jason.
Rick, I'm Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Nice to meet you.
So anyway, I want to get him a ride. We'll let Rick take you around. Cool. We'll grab a car down here probably, since we're so close to break time.
Okay.
Just here, you know, your handbrake. We function the mirrors, left, right, up, down. Make sure they work. We drop the glove box, make sure it's not rubbing. Hit the dials there. The spoke set's already been checked, and we've already listened for noise. So, and then we have this here. I'll put this here. We'll have this up here to make sure that blows. When that blows,
nice.
we know our front exhaust works.
Okay. Okay.
So I scan this, so this tells me I know what it is. Now while I'm doing that, I'll go ahead and when you get hot, let me know in case I forget. I'm checking the right side heat. You know, it's got dual, so I'm checking the right side heat and the left side cool. So I might feel that.
Okay.
See what I mean? Okay.
Oh yeah,
once
this is
that's
red hot,
good,
this is ice
yeah,
cold.
so once that's good, then I'll switch that. I'll switch it up, and that side will be cold, and this side will be hot.
Okay.
You know, and I'm doing all this while I'm driving too.
Right,
so
right,
we gotta be real. We're multi-talented here.
Okay.
So once that matches, then I hit sync, and then that matches. All right. And then you got your check 60 there while my foot's on the brake. In this mirror over here, I'm checking all my brake lights. It's kind of hard to see, but we're used to
no, I can see in the mirrors where all your headlights and brake lights
right.
are.
Well, I'm driver. We're responsible for all our lights. So I'm looking, my brake lights are good. Okay. So I'll let off, and then I'll check my hazard lights, make sure they both work. Okay. Front and back. And if I got side turn signal mirrors, I got mirrors there. Okay. All right. So now I already checked that part. So now I'm in drive, and I'm gonna go ahead and I pretty much got it.
We're on rollers right now. That's why we're not going anywhere.
We're down in the ground about a foot. All right, now I'll hit the VSA. See this little car flashing over here? Yeah. All right, it's checking the vehicle stability assist program. Okay. All right, you'll feel it. Just kick it in. Okay, now as I'm coming down, I'm checking all my lights here. See, I normally do that while I was talking. I check all them. Okay. Now I hit my brake. Now I put my reverse in. I look in the mirror, make sure I got a reverse camera. Okay. Okay, it works. I got 2 reverse lights in my mirror. Sometimes they're kind of hard to see. Okay. Then I look, make sure my tire is backwards in this mirror over here. Okay. Then I'll put it in drive.
If the car had extra options, you'd be checking those at that time.
Yes, there's not that whole much lot. Now we'll stop here and we'll put our lights on and just make sure they're pretty even. We already aimed them on the equipment before. Okay. Because when it's doing the SWAT, we're doing the SWAT. The driver gets out of the car, he places a CV tool there, holds the steering wheel straight. Okay. So while we're getting that car straight, swatted, it's straight. We're not swatting that car like that.
That makes
sense.
We're exactly straight. I'm sorry, Rick, when you say SWAT.
It's the static wheel alignment tester. Okay. It's the same as NCA.
And that's a quick test you guys do to make sure the steering wheel's dead straight, wheels are straight.
Well, the SWAT is the equipment. It's static, wheel alignment tester. Okay. But it's the same as NCA, non-contact alignment. Got it. It used to be SWAT, now it's NCA. So while we're doing the SWAT, The driver gets out and he inspects both the radiator fan and the hack fan, make sure they're working, and we adjust the headlights. That's what, but we reconfirm it on this board here to make sure it's level. Watch, my foot's on the brake, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's in park, foot's off the brake.
Right.
Feel how it grabbed and hold? That's your parking pawl.
Let's say that you found a problem at this point. What do you do?
Well, if that was, you mean as far as the parking pawl?
No, the parking pawl, or a light didn't work, or the AC didn't work right. What do you do? You put it into a computer and tell someone, or
it'd be pulled off. I'm a team leader in the area, so it'd be pulled off. And this FIC, whatever was wrong, we'll write it up on here.
Okay.
And it's my job and my DH's job to figure out what's wrong with that car, what's wrong with it, and who's responsible of getting it fixed, and how do we fix it.
Okay.
All right, so right here, I just check my parking pawl.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't roll, and I know it's good. You know, I hit that. Even if it's bad, I'd still have to hit that, but I'd pull it off and write up parking pawl, no good.
Okay.
And then it would go to the proper area to get it repaired.
I mean, there's a stop check parking pawl. And this is a spot. So that's an important thing to check.
Yes, very.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's very important.
Well, there's 3 things when I tell my DHs that train, or even my trainer when they train new people. 3 things. I mean, there's all kind of stuff that we check. We got a bonnet safety latch, which you got to be able to not
the secondary, right?
Correct.
Okay.
You know, you go and put oil in your car.
Yeah.
And you forget to put the hood down. You're driving down the road. If that doesn't work, that hood flies up and you can have a wreck. So that's why we 100% check that.
Okay.
And we check this here to the parking pawl.
Okay.
And we got our seat belt, VLR.
And the seat belts you check.
Yes, we check, make sure they lock.
Now, do you check every one of the seats to make sure?
Our job in dyno is here. Now, as the car goes on down the line, they check them in outside drive. So, if this LET does not do what it should do, see that pass?
Yeah.
If that doesn't do that, that car has to be pulled off, and then we will get that car repaired.
So this computer is checking a whole bunch of different things.
Yes.
And now that it's checked and everything's passed, it says pass.
Correct.
And now we can continue on to the next test.
Correct. So, and then before I get out of the car, actually if one end of the car, I'm looking too at all my fittings, your pillar.
Just to make sure nothing's
Yes,
sticking?
you're looking at your open seal to make sure they look, you know, good all the way around. And then actually after this, you'll check your seat, make sure it locks front, make sure it locks back.
Okay.
And then make sure your recline works.
Okay.
And then I tried it, like the next outside drive, they got to check the cruise, and they only got a short amount of time to check it, so I always try to make sure my cruise button's on.
Okay.
Because if it's not on when they get in the car and outside drive, like, oh,
of course,
cruise on, then they take their eyes off the road. So if you want, this one passed, so this here, the first square is exterior. That car got checked on that red or blue conveyor.
Okay.
Okay, and these guys are professional checkers, door checkers. They check the apps and all that stuff. See all the red writing?
Yeah.
That's this guy here. That's 2104. He does his check on that car, and if whatever he don't like, he writes it up. That's not flush. So then everything's done on my behalf. Right there, that line there, that circle, that means that's what line it got aligned on.
Okay.
We got line 1 and line 2 and line 3. That way if there's any problems with
you can always
cars
go back.
Correct. And that's my number, and that's the guy that done the engine inspection before lunch, and that's the same guy that drove it, got everything set up, and that's the exterior guy. Now this line down here is chassis. They're going to torque everything that just got done in that first pit. Okay. They're going to visually look at everything, not everything, but everything that we're supposed to in our op standards. Look, and they're snapping off the rear cam, right and left, then your front tie rods, right and left. And they're checking cotter pins too, and you know, making split pins, making sure they're good. Now I'll show you this next phase when we get up here. Like say that's chassis down below.
Okay, so are we done with the inside of the car right now?
Yes, we're done.
So things like the radio and Bluetooth, when do those
that
get
gets checked in the next area.
In the next area.
Drive.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Another question is that when the cars reach the dealerships, there's certain fuses that are missing. Are those done here or at port?
Yeah, they're
I noticed everything works now.
Yeah, they're done way down at the end of the line, right before it goes out the building. And the reason why, I believe, is that way, in case somebody leaves the door open or so, it doesn't. And plus, it's mainly so it doesn't burn out the battery. Doesn't overuse the battery.
Of course.
And once they get to the dealer, they know where to put the fuses back in, then everything will work, and you don't have to clear anything out. Everything will be okay.
That's cool. Okay, that's good to know.
So this here, everything passed, and I'll show you this equipment up here.
Okay.
Once we get up there. It'll be here to here.
So what
temperature?
What we're looking at, guys, are 2 screens here. Excuse me a second. Let me just show them.
That's okay.
You can see the difference in heat. Where my hand is, my hand's warmer, and you can see my hand across this area. And if there's a heating element in the windshield, they can check if it's working by these screens. Really amazing stuff.
Now there's only 2 units that have that. That is the KC and the KR, and they're TLs. Now there might be more in the next new models.
In the future, but...
Right, now also the ones that we check on everyone is the one on the right. You won't see it now because these cars have been turned off for 15 minutes.
Is that a rear defogger?
That is your rear defrost. So you'll have, when this was a normal flow production car, this car would come up here as long as our guy turned on the rear defrost on sometime when he got in the car.
And you'll see the lines.
Yes, you have straight lines
cool.
all the way across.
How else would you check it?
Right, I mean, you can still feel it's hot, but every once in a while you might have a dead spot, and they usually end up replacing that glass.
Okay.
So, and that's our last check here, and then when we put it on the shower, we actually check the parking pole on the front side too, just like we did back here.
Are we going to be able to check the shower? So what we're trying to do, guys, is trying to get to the shower, which is the car's first car wash, isn't it, essentially?
Yeah.
Where they're going to be checking for any sort of leaks in the seals or anything that might not be the way it's supposed to be.
Correct.
High pressure?
Yeah.
Like real high pressure?
It's about 80. I mean, as far as set up, about 55.
Chemical or just water? Do you know? Say again? Is it just water or like a chemical or soap or anything?
Just water.
Just water.
Just water.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's a rinse.
Yeah, I'll go. Cool. If you guys want to stay right here, I'll go turn it on.
Awesome.
You want them both on or just one line? This one right here.
Guys, this is cool, and the shower actually isn't on right now because they're on a break, but they're going to turn it on just for us. So this is something really special I want you guys to really watch. You're in and out of so many cars all the time. You really have to be aware of what car you're in to know what things to check.
Which model?
Especially with sensing now, because you have sensing on everything. So now you have to know, if does the car have sensing, should I use the sensing? And we're in a sport, right?
Right.
Yeah, nice. Okay. So is there a special mode for the car's computer or just the plug-in?
Just the plug-in,
okay.
basically. And it'll prompt us to do some things along the way. And
cool.
We have to get up to 45 mile an hour and check our steering angle. That's what this is doing right now. Check the cruise while we're out here. Our steering angle's 0.2. That's good.
That sounds good.
Check a few of the functions while I'm out here. I'll give this to you if you can hold that. I don't have anywhere to put that.
Sure.
The HFT is okay.
Jason, what are you holding?
I'm holding a steering wheel alignment tool. Is that what this is?
The HFT is okay.
And just so you guys know, the HFT is okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. So those little noises that I'm hearing.
Yeah, our windshield sealer's not set up yet.
Okay, so that's normal and that's something that'll go away.
Right.
So you know, okay.
A lot of times the weather makes it worse or better, so it's getting colder out, so it gets a little worse.
Okay. And this is a cobblestone road that we're rolling on?
Mm-hmm.
What are you listening for?
Just any vibrations, rattles. A lot of times you get like that right there.
That's him. I think that's my keys. Yeah, I can see you're actually holding the keys of the car to make sure you don't hear them.
And this test any like bends in the car. If it's got bad spot welds or anything, you'll hear creaking or.
Okay.
And we're going. Hang on. We're gonna slam on the brakes here. That checks the ABS.
Whole bunch of water on the ground there, and we got up to speed and slammed the brakes on to check the ABS out. Now more cobblestones.
Check the radio right here. Checks all the speakers.
So instead of turning the radio on, the radio looks like it has its own diagnostics.
Right. It's going through a series of checks there that we've either already done or it'll prompt you.
Okay. It
says 0 down there, so yep, you're good.
Now, is that the same basic test you'll do a steering wheel lock?
Mm-hmm.
The same basic check you'll do with all the cars?
Yep.
Okay, sensing or non-sensing cars go through the same checks?
Yeah, this one doesn't have a lot on it, but yeah,
right.
The sensing cars are a little more difficult, but
okay.
They check a few more things.
But this computer would check that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it.
Right.
And you guys test every single car?
Yep, every one. We're proud of that. Well, it's good we put it over here on the line, so okay. I'll let you guys out here. So
if it's not okay. Good, where does it go? Into a different line, so you guys can recheck it?
Yeah, either a repair area or hold it for the team leader to see what's wrong with it.
Understood. Rick, thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate it. John, thank you.
Okay.
So thanks for spending the time with us today, Chris, and showing us how a car is made. It's pretty awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about this plant? When did we start? What's the significance? And why does everyone talk about Honda? They talk about Marysville plants.
Well, this Marysville automotive plant was the first Honda facility in North America. In fact, we started this plant in 1982. Wow. And we're enjoying our relationship with the community. We've got 4,300 great associates, and we love putting the Accord, the ILX. We love putting these vehicles together.
Now, Chris, in '82, that's when you guys started this. Were you the first Japanese manufacturer to build a car in America?
We actually were. We kind of led the way.
That's awesome.
Led the way. In fact, a few years earlier, we started with a motorcycle plant here in North America, and then that was so successful.
79?
79. You're on it. You're on it. And
cool.
We are thrilled that Honda wanted to bring the quality product to the customer, right?
Yes.
And really have that integration, and this was a great way to do it.
This plant is amazing. I mean, to see every employee doing their own individual work and then watching the car come together, people are going to love watching this. So,
well, these associates are from this community, so they're proud of their community, they're proud of this product, and that's shown by everything that they do on this car. We consider them world-class associates, and they're building world-class quality.
That's awesome. Thank you so much again.
Oh, great. We're glad to have you here.
Awesome. Heading back home after an epic couple days. I hope you guys all enjoyed everything that we showed you. I mean, we walked you through R&D, we walked you through the wind tunnel, we walked you through some claymation and some 3D, and through production of the 2016 Honda Accord. How awesome was that? Again, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, man. It was so much fun to make. And until next time, I'm the Honda Pro, and now you're in the know.